thunderstorms. Hot and humid day of weather, temps in the 90s, feels like temperatures in the triple digits. And Mother Nature's on repeat. We keep this pattern going for the rest of the work week all the way towards the weekend with those highs in the 90s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
Hi, Matt Caldwell here, and we've reached the silly season in politics. It's amazing President Trump ever won any election, considering so many ads tell us that everyone is a never-Trumper. True never-Trumpers left the Republican Party years ago. Fact is, it's the candidates with nothing to offer that are still beating this dead horse. I'm Matt Caldwell, and I'm proud of my record. I wasn't afraid to stand against socialist Charlie Crist when he tried to drag our state to the left. I've stood against wasteful tax increases and bucked leadership to defend the Second Amendment. I've championed term limits and never bowed to environmental radicals. There's no doubt that I've made some mistakes along the way. Who hasn't? But I've been willing to lead the fight, and I'm not stopping now. I'm Matt Caldwell. When you mark your ballot this August, make sure you vote for the candidates that have actually delivered for this community. That's who President Trump and our republic need most of all. Paid by Matt Caldwell, Republican for State Committeeman.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home, so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's Pest Prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Today, Byron Donalds claims he's for law and order. Yesterday, he wanted weaker sentences for felons.
We're going to provide some additional time off of sentences.
Yesterday, Byron Donalds, arrested for drugs and theft himself, wanted compassion for drug dealers.
Giving discretion to judges in some drug offenses.
Today, Byron claims he's for President Trump and a safe election. Yesterday,
we do want convicted felons to get their rights to vote.
Who will Byron Donalds be tomorrow? Paid for by Honesty America, not endorsed by any candidate or any candidates committee.
Dell supports America's entrepreneurs during Small Business Month with all you need to office anywhere. Save up to 45% on computers and servers with Intel Core processors. Upgrade to new modern devices with Windows 10. Plus save on top brand tech while enjoying free shipping on everything. And special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call 877-ASK-DELL to talk to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the tech that's just right. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
Big news! David Horowitz's new book, Blitz, just hit 6 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. Already a #1 Amazon bestseller, Blitz predicted the big protests against Trump. Now, Blitz says Trump has a secret plan. Mike Huckabee says if everyone read Blitz, Trump would win in a landslide. Get Blitz at bookstores or see the free offer and save $28. Just go online to blitz411.com or call 800-NEWSMAX. That's 800-NEWSMAX. And get Blitz today.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad that you are here and joining us this morning. 239-479-5592. There's the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. We are streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe if you enjoy it. It's something that will help us to keep it going on YouTube as well as on Facebook. Jake the Millennial having hopefully a pretty good morning as we hit the stride of the middle of the work week, which is very nice. It's always nice. It's nice to know that we are starting to get to a point now when we know what day of the week it is. So that's a good thing, right? I'm just hopeful that Jake is aware of what day it is. It's not Jake Day, but we're this close. My fingers are thinly spread apart.
Yeah, I've just started numbering the days. Like Monday's 1, Tuesday's 2.
Is that how you're doing it?
It's a lot easier.
I think that's how Joe Biden does it, too. Isn't that? That's funny. You and Joe Biden have a lot in common. I think you've decided that numbers are a lot easier with the days of the week than just remembering that big, long, all those letters that string together. Sometimes it gets confusing. So good for you taking a little bit of Joe Biden there with you. Speaking of Joe Biden, hey, congratulations, Democrats. You've done what everybody was concerned about. You have locked down the state of California by having Joe Biden announce that Kamala Harris is going to be his running mate. So there you go. California's a lock, everybody. That was a big deal. We were really worried about that. I'm sorry. There's so many. Look, I would love to hear from you this morning. 239-479-5592. And engage what you think about this, because so many people talked about as soon as the name of Kamala Harris dropped yesterday and we found out that she is going to be his running mate. And the great honor to announce that he's picked Kamala Harris, a fearless fighter for the little guy and one of the country's finest public servants, as my running mate, which is so hysterical because when you hear the audio that we're going to play of the two of them duking it out during the primaries and some of the things that she said, I don't know, calling Joe Biden a racist, that kind of stuff. No, I'm sorry. She didn't say he was a racist. He just hangs out and agrees with segregationists and, that kind of stuff. So I love how she did that. You'll hear that audio. And you're going to be reminded this morning of all the things that maybe you forgot about Kamala Harris. But the important things, too. Like where we stand here with policy, everybody, isn't that what this is all about? Ultimately, as much as we want to joke about it and we'll play audio and it's the thing and we'll have some fun and you want to choose...
we choose truth over facts.
Whatever you want to do. The fact is that at the end of the day, for all of us, we need to be aware of who these individuals are and what will happen if it's a Biden-Harris ticket. What will happen, a Biden-Harris presidency and vice presidency, what will happen because everybody knows that Kamala Harris is going to be running the show. How did she get in this position? We were told Joe Biden's moderate. We're told even yesterday that the pick on the left of Kamala Harris was a moderate pick. So good. I mean, that when you talk about California and Kamala Harris, senator from California, district attorney there in California, and we'll get to some of her past there as well. A little sketchy. That you think moderate. I wonder, is there one single moderate in California? So what happened is, so this is good news. Joe Biden and the Democrat Party decided that, I know, why am I even saying Joe Biden? Joe Biden had no say in this pick. We all know it. So here's the good news, everybody. The Democrats found the one moderate in the whole state of California. Isn't that wonderful? I feel great. I feel much better. Of course, it's not true. And we're joking and tongue-in-cheek, and you all realize that. So we do have to ultimately get down to the particulars here, who she is, and what would happen if she were the de facto president of the United States. Let's be honest. A lot of people this morning are talking about Vice President Pence. Oh, can you imagine? I can't wait until Vice President Pence and Kamala Harris are on a stage together, or however they're going to do it. And oh man, she's going to shred him. That's the words on social media today, on Twitter. Shred. She's going to shred him. Yeah? You think so? Really? Do you really want to go against Vice President Pence if you are someone who's, as the president said, nasty? Do you really want to show that nasty side? Is that who you want to be right now? And I don't have a problem with the two of them together. 239-479-5592. Maybe you have some thoughts. I see a lot of people calling right now, so we'll get to those calls. What did the president say about Kamala Harris?
She is a person that's told many many stories that weren't true. She's very big into raising taxes. She wants to slash funds for our military at a level that nobody can even believe. She is against fracking. She's against petroleum products. I mean, how do you do that and go into Pennsylvania or Ohio or Oklahoma or the great state of Texas? She's against fracking. Fracking's a big deal. She's in favor of socialized medicine, where you're going to lose your doctors, you're going to lose your plans. She wants to take your health care plans away from 180 million Americans. 180 million Americans that are very happy with their health insurance, and she wants to take that away. So she was my number one pick. I mean, she was, as they would say, because hopefully you'll start college football, she was my number one draft pick.
His number one draft pick. By the way, I'm not really sure how the college football season is going to go. I have friends who are big into college football, and they are beside themselves. They see it crumbling before their very eyes this season, and they don't know what to do. Okay. And I understand that. And maybe we can talk a little bit about that. But again, the president bringing all of these things up. Now, for those that think that, oh, this is just the president and this is the rhetoric that's out there that is going to take place because, you know, this is what a Republican would do no matter who the Democrat. They're already going to have this line. Well, what does she give the ticket? What does Kamala Harris represent as the de facto president of the United States? I mean, both have backed the Green New Deal, $93 trillion of a Green New Deal. We know that is a fact, and we know some of the things that go along. Look, when it comes to Green New Deals, when it comes to the government saying, oh, specifically, we want to work on climate change, we want to work on the environment, we're going to put together a package in Congress that's going to address that. You know, and I know, we all know, that that's not how it works. You get all kinds of things that are thrown in there that you don't get to see, that you don't know, because all they do is focus on that issue. In the meantime, they throw in all the junk, all the pork, all the nasty that's underneath it all that you don't get to see. And so if you think it's just going to be, oh, it's not really 93 trillion. I mean, no, you're not going to focus on anything. But she has a wish list to fix what they perceive as all that ails society. That's a quote. Backed Biden in 2015 when he was tapped by Obama to spearhead the lobbying effort for the Iran nuclear deal. Remember that? She loves that whole thing. Best option. We got to go back to that. So we're now going to go back to appeasement around the world. $600 billion in college for all. She backed that. Why not? Just printing presses. Just keep them going. And then every time you're going to hear about anything that has to do with pandemic relief, with coronavirus relief, not allowing people to go back to work, but making sure everybody has cash in their pockets, Democrats love this idea because there's no end to it. They won't end it. And the only way they can afford to pay for it is to tax you. There's no such thing as taxing the rich. Stop with that nonsense. Taxing the rich doesn't happen. It comes right to your front door. You all know how it works, I hope. Hey, Stevens in Cape Coral, he wanted to weigh in on the VP pick, Kamala Harris, this morning. How are you, Steven?
I'm doing great. Good morning. I was going to say, I think that was a great pick if he didn't want to win because, when you pick somebody that basically has explained why you shouldn't be the president of the United States in the Democratic debates, and you've already argued against them on their points, and they've argued back and forth while they're both not qualified. And, pretty much all Trump has to do is take a bunch of those snippets from the Democratic debates and play them. They're their own worst enemy. I think that's pretty much the worst thing he could have done is pick somebody that actually ran against them and debated them. But that's his bad choice. So good for us. Well,
and Stephen, stay there because I wanted to talk to you about this because the other side. Let's play devil's advocate here. The other side of it is Well, you realize Republicans do the same thing, right? Everybody was tearing each other down during the primaries because, we're talking about the presidency. It's sort of like the kind of nonsense we see in the congressional race here in Southwest Florida in CD19, right? All of a sudden you start hearing the ads of, this guy is evil. No, this person's more evil than the other person is evil. And, never Trumpers and blah, 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 big sugar. Blah, blah, blah. And you hear all right. And so everybody's evil. And it's because we all know what's at stake. We're not talking about, a job up the street at your local store. We're talking about Congress. We're talking about the presidency. So people play for keeps. So I think...
I also find you really have to do your research on that. Just listen to political commercials. It's kind of hard to get mixed up in all that because everybody has something bad to say about each other.
Good
so
for
you really got to do your research before voting because that's a big mistake you can make.
Thank you, Stephen. Stephen is bringing the common sense. You see, look at it. Wait, common sense, Cape Coral. Common sense, CC, Cape Coral. Well, sense is not. Depends on what kind of sense we're talking about. See what I did there, Stephen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, good. I was worried. There was a little bit of a delay there. I'm sure it was the phone. That's okay. Stephen, I appreciate your call this morning. Thanks so much. 239-479-5592. Maybe you have a thought on the pick of Kamala Harris as the vice presidential choice for Joe Biden, who ultimately is going to be the de facto president. We know that. But to Stephen's point, and let's take a break right now, Jake. And to Stephen's point, what happened during the primary? What were the points that were brought up during the primary? What specifically, what else besides some of the things that I brought up are going to take place? And do you really think that Kamala Harris versus Vice President Pence is something you worry about in a debate? Maybe you want to comment on that. 239-479-5592. Streaming live on the YouTubes at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. Hey, by the way, coming up this morning, Dr. Ben Carson is going to join us at 7 o'clock. So that's going to be great. Looking forward to that conversation on the way with Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along, here's Sabrina Katz with traffic.
Alligator Alley is shut down at mile marker 96. This is near the toll plaza. So the shutdown is between the toll plaza and mile marker 80, which is State Road 29. You can hop back onto the interstate at State Road 29 if you're heading east. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Mixture of sunshine and clouds, quiet morning, but as we hit this afternoon and this evening, keep your eyes to the sky. Scattered showers and storms on a hot and humid day. 93 degrees with our heat index over 100. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
This Fox Business Report is presented by Gulf Shore Business Magazine, online at gulfshorebusiness.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
It appears working remotely will be around a long time after the coronavirus is under control. A survey by accounting firm PwC shows 78% of CEOs around the world believe the new way of working will be an enduring part of their culture. The Wall Street Journal reports TikTok skirted a privacy safeguard in Google's Android operating system to collect data and track users online without telling them. Walt Disney brings an end to one of the best-known names in entertainment, 20th Century Fox. Disney rebranding the TV studios as 20th Television. It had already dropped the Fox name from the film studios. Disney bought the assets last year. And stocks take a tumble. The Dow fell 104 points yesterday. The Nasdaq lost 185. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
They had snuck in the night and committed these murders. Nobody had a clue about who or a why.
You got 8 people dead, and things like that don't usually happen in a small town. I mean, they don't usually happen anywhere, and it was just a real shock.
4+ years after these murders, and they couldn't have written a more sinister story than what's playing out in Pike County, Ohio right now.
Listen to the Piketon Massacre wherever you get your podcasts.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
I am Drew Montez Clark.
I am running for state representative for District 80, and I am asking for your support. I am liberty-focused, constitutionally backed, Second Amendment loving, Trump-supporting, pro-life, husband, father, and entrepreneur grounded in my faith. I only make two promises, and that is I will filter everything through two funnels. That's faith and the Constitution. The clear choice is Clark for state rep in District 80.
Paid for by Drew Montez Clark, Republican state rep for District 80.
I'm going to give you a thought for a second and see what your reaction is like. You ready? Here we go. I hand you a glass. It's filled with something you don't know what it is, but I ask you to cover your eyes and then take a sip. Aren't you doing that every time you're opening up your faucet at home? You drink that water, you're not sure what's in it, but you drink it anyway. Well, that's the thing. You should call Max at Pelican Water Systems and find out what's really in your home's water now. Pelican Water Systems, now a part of Pentair, is a leader in safe, sustainable drinking water, and you can schedule your free Pentair water test right now. And for city or well water, you're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet with your Pentair water system. So is your family. Pentair's Smart Combo is the salt-free alternative, certified and guaranteed to reduce 99% of scale, 97% of chlorine, no lugging in bags of salt, and the Advantage Salt System, well, that can take care of even the hardest water. So call Max. He's your local expert, a trained Pentair water specialist. There's never any pressure. Give him a call now, 239-880-7799. You can find the best summer deals right now online, PelicanWestFL.com.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Why pay more for a used car or truck when Galliana Kia in Fort Myers can sell you a new car for less? 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, just $49 per month. That's right, a new car for just $49 per month. 2020 Kia Rio, just $13,990. Yes, $13,990. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Galliana Kia has lenders to get almost anyone approved. Plus, we'll take any trade, in any condition, even if you're upside down. Why? Why buy an overpriced used car when you can buy a new car for less? Brand new Kias, just $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
At Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24 months, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 roadside plus tax title, dealer and acquisition fee, 0 security deposit with lender approval, expires Month end.
Winn-Dixie's where it's at for the freshest deals and points on everything I buy. Oh, and I love earning points, because points means dollars off my groceries. Oh, and the savings don't stop there. Download the Winn-Dixie app for even more ways to win. The app has all the hits. I'm talking about my mystery bonus points multiplier, the deal of the week, and digital coupons for more instant savings. So check out the Winn-Dixie app to win more at Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win.
My name is Mike Gillimbardo, and I'm running to represent you in the Florida House. It was a great honor back in 2016 when Donald Trump's team asked me to speak at his campaign rally right here in Southwest Florida. And it was an even bigger honor to meet the man that would become our next president. My message that day was about unifying our country behind Donald Trump. Today, my message is the same. Donald Trump is under constant attack and needs our support more than ever. I'm Mike Gillimbardo, and I supported Donald Trump when he was a candidate, and I support him as our president. But unfortunately, my opponent's special interest friends are spending tens of thousands of dollars trying to tell you I don't support our president. And that's just not true. While I'm working to unite our party, he's working to divide it. I'm Mike Gillimbardo. I'm a combat veteran who worked to help Donald Trump get elected. If you send me to the Florida House, I will ensure Donald Trump succeeds in keeping America great. Paid by Mike Gillimbardo, Republican for the Florida House.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Stay break 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. The Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. By the way, just in case you're wondering what kind of guy we got with Joe Biden, let's not forget this little ditty back from the days when he was running for president. What was this, like in 1847? No, seriously, listen to this.
New Hampshire. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class.
that he does not have 3 degrees from college and that he was not named Outstanding Political Science Student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Yeah, let's not forget that Joe Biden has run for president like 147 different times since since 1763. Did you not know that, Jake?
That sounded pretty like a while ago.
Yeah, yes, it was a while ago. It was in the, I believe it was in the 80s, and they pretty much called him out for it the first time that he ran.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Yeah. I'm just putting out So this morning, as we talk about the soon-to-be de facto president of the United States, possibly if the Democrats win, Kamala Harris, and we'll get into more of what she is and who she is and what she's all about. Let's not forget who Joe Biden is and has been, and the has-been that's been the has-been.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. One of the biggest fears a homeowner has about their home is that the air conditioning system will need to be replaced. Well, folks, it's going to happen someday, so prepare yourself for that day. The good news is, Kobe Cooling has a 100% NATE certified team of mechanics that actually fix air conditioners. When you call for service, our unique team will find your issue and fix it. Your air conditioner will need to be replaced someday, but that doesn't have to be today. You can still get those giant firms with cheap service call prices and get a sales technician to sell you a new unit. Or you can hire a real NATE certified mechanic and we'll fix your system and help you plan for the next air conditioner purchase. Call 239-482-1542 for a real mechanic and not a salesman in disguise. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313.
Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Looks like Planned Parenthood's favorite politician, Heather Fitzenhagen, has some explaining of her own to do. While in the legislature, why did Heather Fitzenhagen fail to pay her property taxes 4 times in 5 years?
Lucy?
Why did the Florida Elections Commission find probable cause that Fitzenhagen was untruthful on her financial disclosure form? Why have Fitzenhagen's campaigns racked up over 50 violations and more than $3,000 in fines?
You got some explaining to do.
Why did Fitzenhagen's special interest funded PAC pay for her hotel room in Toronto, Canada? Why was Fitzenhagen's stay at the Ritz-Carlton Resort in Aruba paid for by her campaign? Why did Heather Fitzenhagen lose the lawsuit filed by her Tallahassee landlord for wrecking her apartment and not paying her rent? There's got to be an explanation for all of this.
We are waiting.
Paid by Ray Rodriguez for Florida Senate.
County Commissioner Ray Sandelli's business experience and military background earned him Governor Ron DeSantis' appointment to the Lee County Commission. And Ray Sandelli is committed to working together with Governor DeSantis to rebuild our economy. He's fighting to protect our jobs and keep our businesses open. As a principled conservative, he knows our path to recovery lies with lower taxes and less regulations. County Commissioner Ray Sandelli brings 40 years of conservative business experience to Lee County. He knows what it takes to create jobs, grow economies, and isn't afraid to make the tough decisions. That's why Governor Ron DeSantis appointed him to the Lee County Commission, and Ray hasn't let him down. A naval officer and aviator, Ray Sandelli spent 8 years in the United States Navy and was a member of the prestigious Blue Angels flight demonstration team. He proudly served our nation and proudly stands for our flag. We can count on him to support our law enforcement. Ray Sandelli is a veteran, businessman, and conservative fighting for us on the County Commission. Paid electioneering communication paid for by SWFL Jobs Alliance. 1375 Jackson Street, Fort Myers, Florida, 33901.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. The Big Ten and Pac-12 conferences announced they will not play football this fall because of the pandemic. The Big Ten says it's postponing all fall sports and hopes to make them up in the second semester. But this includes Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. Florida State University's president said the Seminoles will play football in the fall. Governor Ron DeSantis says there should be football this fall, and he proposed all NCAA football games be played in Florida. Charlotte County Schools is now working on a communication plan for when students return back to school. If someone is exposed to COVID-19, they will be notified and directed to take preventative measures to contain it. Now, if there's an upward trend of cases or transmission, the Department of Health suggests kids learn from online and then head back to the classroom later on. A mooring field in Cape Coral's Bimini Basin has been in the works for years, and now the city says it's getting ready for phase 2 of the project. Last night, Cape Coral showcased 2 potential designs, one with room for 18 boats and another for 15 boats of different sizes. Florida has chosen to participate in a COVID-19 vaccine pilot program. The state surgeon general says we're now part of the CDC vaccine pilot group. We're one of 4 states chosen to take part in this. You'll have the opportunity to get more free walk-up testing at Three Oaks Park in Lee County. They're testing from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday for the rest of August. Now, this Thursday's site will be at Buckingham Community Park. We have a list of all the other sites on the Wink News app. St. Matthew's House says they fed 828 families yesterday at their Golden Gate High School food pantry. Today they have another distribution scheduled at the high school from 9 until noon. They expect to feed hundreds of people there as well. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Alligator Alley is shut down at mile marker 96. This is near the toll plaza. So the shutdown is between the toll plaza and mile marker 80, which is State Road 29. You can hop back onto the interstate at State Road 29 if you're heading east. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For this morning, looking good, mixture of sunshine and clouds, and then by this afternoon and this evening, another summertime round of scattered showers and storms. Hot and humid day of weather, temps in the 90s, feels like temperatures in the triple digits, and Mother Nature's on repeat. We keep this pattern going for the rest of the work week all the way towards the weekend with those highs in the 90s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News is giving away signed copies of Sean Hannity's new book, Live Free or Die. Beginning Monday, listen for the cue to text a keyword and get registered to win. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Building a dream takes hard work, discipline, determination. Casey Asghar started with nothing, but his hard work created jobs. His discipline shaped a community. His determination built an American dream. Those same qualities built our nation. And to rebuild our economy, we need them now more than ever.
I'm Casey Asghar, and I approve this message. My family came to America to pursue the American dream. We owe it to our children to keep the dream alive.
Paid for by Casey Asghar for Congress.
Let's talk buttons. Not the buttons on clothes, the ones that do things. The ones that beg the question, what's that button do? There's just something satisfying about pressing buttons. And now, if you have sleep apnea and can't use CPAP, there's a button you can press that's really satisfying. It lets you go from sleeping like this to this. It's called Inspire, and it's as simple as, you guessed it, clicking a button. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device implanted in a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Attention commercial building owners. The Flying Locksmiths of Southwest Florida are now open, specializing in automatic doors, access controls, and CCTV cameras. Visit them online at flyinglocksmiths.com. If it's on the door, we handle it.
Today, businesses are starting to bounce back, but what if you could do better than that? What if you could adapt and find new ways to succeed? With new customers? Well, Comcast Business wants to help you do just that. Learn how you can not just bounce back, but bounce forward at ComcastBusiness.com.
Majority Leader of the Florida House, Dane Eagle.
This is Dane Eagle. My desperate opponents are attacking my conservative record with lies and distortions. Let's set the record straight. I'm Dane Eagle, and I have the strongest record against illegal immigration in this field. I voted against tuition for illegals 3 times. As Republican Majority Leader, I blocked the Democrats' attempt to give them driver's licenses and work with Governor DeSantis to expand E-Verify and ban sanctuary cities. Sure, I supported Mitt Romney over Barack Obama in 2012. So did President Trump, and I bet you did too. I'm Dane Eagle, and I'm the only person in this race to stand with President Trump on the Second Amendment. I sponsored nearly 20 bills in the Florida House to protect and defend your right to keep and bear arms. I'm Dean Eagle, and I approve this message because it's the truth. I'm being attacked by Washington insiders and self-funders because they have no record of their own. I'm Dean Eagle, and I'm asking for your vote.
Thank you, Dane.
Paid for by Dean Eagle for Congress.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
He's the creepy old guy in the basement that likes to sniff women's hair.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
She thinks he's racist.
To hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country.
Can these two share a ticket and not drive the country crazy? The oddest couple.
Well, it kind of had to be done, and so somebody had to step up and say it and do it. But there's more where that came from. Don't you worry. It is the oddest couple in a lot of different ways. He's 77. She's 55. He doesn't think that he's racist in any way, shape, or form. She called him out during the primary as someone who's a racist. Oh no, wait. The left is saying, no, she didn't say she said I don't think you're a racist. But here's some things that maybe would lead me to believe that you are racist. I'll get to that audio in just a second. So Kamala Harris will be the de facto president of the United States if Joe Biden were to win the presidency. Figure all that out. So we had that announcement yesterday. I wonder what you think about this. As you wake up today, you've probably had time to talk to friends and family about it. As a matter of fact, maybe you were perusing the social media verse, and it was like a fire hose of information the minute it was announced. It was like, look, the Republican Party knew this was coming or something like this was coming. They had a plan either for Kamala Harris or Susan Rice, and you can go right down the list, and it was going to be the lesser of those, the one that they felt that they could position to be the most moderate. But we'll talk about some of the policies of one moderate Kamala Harris. I can't even say it with a straight face because Kamala Harris is from California. Is there even a moderate in California at all? There's barely Republicans there's barely conservatives in California, from what we understand. So we're led to believe that Kamala Harris is somehow a moderate, and that's how she got voted into being a senator and even being a DA there, and all the other things, attorney general. All of those things that you can be voted for because you're totally a moderate in California. It's also a great way to lock up a state that many people had doubts about. I'm sorry, there's a lot of funny there. All right, so the president doesn't like that she's been nasty, even nasty to Brett Kavanaugh. Do you remember that?
I've been watching her for a long time, and I was a little surprised. She was extraordinarily nasty to Kavanaugh, Judge Kavanaugh then, now Justice Kavanaugh. She was nasty to a level that was just a horrible thing, the way she treated now Justice Kavanaugh. And I won't forget that soon.
He's not going to forget that soon. Many of us do not forget that either, the way she treated the then nominee for the Supreme Court. To be expected, trying to sound and be tough. And the question becomes whether or not she's someone who is going to help the ticket or not. She didn't help herself when she was running for president of the United States. As a matter of fact, there were moments where it was a little awkward. Let me give you a little awkwardness here, just in case you're wondering. There was a moment where Kamala Harris was at an event, and she was talking about the reasons why they should support her and whether or not they did. Hey, listen to this.
I'm at the stage of the campaign where I'm kind of like, I'm just going to engage in real talk. I don't want to waste your time with anything else. Let's just have some real talk.
Are we going to have some fun with that laugh, huh? There's going to be a lot of that coming up, so you better get used to it.
Let's just have some real talk. So, real talk. in this election, in the last kind of couple, maybe couple months, certainly a few weeks, there's this whole conversation that's been coming up about electability.
Electability, everybody.
Focused on our campaign. Is America ready for that? No. Well, yes, they are.
Wait a minute. So she's at an event talking about electability, her electability, and she says...
Focused on our campaign.
Yeah, it's focused on her campaign. Electability, your electability factor is like near the bottom. It's not something that people are excited about, and she asks...
Is America ready for that? No.
No. You want to know what kind of moment that is?
Please clap.
It's kind of like that moment. That was during the campaign. You'd assume that if you're speaking to a crowd, no matter who they were, that you would have enough respect from those Democrats in that crowd to not call you out that way. But apparently they did. But that's okay. What about some of the other things? Let's get to the real meat, which is what happened, if you remember, during the primaries. Now, is Kamala Harris a pick? And by the way, I'd love to hear from you and your thoughts, 239-479-5592 on this Kamala Harris pick by the Democrat Party to be the de facto president of the United States in 2021 if Joe Biden were to be sworn into office. Because I think we're all on the same page that Joe Biden is going to be, I don't know where Joe Biden's going to be.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
He might be with Corn Pop. I don't know where he's going to be at or what's going to be happening, but I do know that Kamala Harris is going to really help, wink, wink, nod, nod, to push the president elect into a certain direction. And it wouldn't be one that would be good for the country or conservative, certainly. But even on the debate stage, it was Tulsi Gabbard who was talking about her record and in California and that record, law enforcement, and how she really was there back in the day when she was working for the state of California. And if this was a moment, this pick, where the Democrat Party is looking at Kamala Harris and saying, well, here's a benefit as someone who was the top law enforcement in the state of California, that maybe that we have someone who we can point to and say what? Tough on crime? As a moderate? Because I'm pretty confident the party does not want somebody that's tough on crime. That's not the position of the party. That's the opposite of what Democrats have been calling for. They're the ones that have been calling for defunding the police. They're the ones, as the president talked about yesterday, talking about just stripping the military down when it comes to the amount of money we would have in the support for the military. The Democrats are all about that. So Tulsi Gabbard, if you remember, called her out on the stage. And it was an embarrassing moment for Kamala Harris.
Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Now, I wonder how that plays in the party. How do you square this circle, so to speak? How do you make that work in a party that feels completely opposite? Now, you might hear that and you might think to yourself, well, there's some good news there, right? I mean, if she's tough on crime and criminals, well, you have to remember what we are talking about in this era of Democrats who do not want that. that do not want to be talking about being tough on crime. These are the same Democrat mayors and governors in states that are allowing Antifa and others, radicals on their street to do the things that they are doing to federal buildings, to try to torch and kill in certain cities. And when I say kill, and you think, well, hold on, that's way over the top. That's outrageous. Well, when the mayor of the city of Portland now admits that trying to use an accelerant to burn down a federal building while there are people inside the building is, well, that you can call attempted murder, when even he recognizes that, don't do it. Facts are the facts. Democrat mayors in these cities and Democrat governors are allowing all of this to take place. And so how are they going to do this? It'll be interesting to see. How are they going to get Kamala Harris to turn on that position and then have her be believable? Not that she can't turn. Look, remember something about Republicans and Democrats. A Republican can be a Republican one day, a Democrat the next, a moderate one day, and a liberal the next, and be lauded, hailed as someone who has done the right thing. A Democrat becomes a Republican, and they are destroyed from the left in the media. But when do you hear that even happening? There are more Democrats that really are Republicans than there are Republicans who are really Democrats. No, it's the opposite. Wait, start again. There are more Republicans that are really Democrats than Democrats that are ever going to be Republicans. There you go. And make sense of that. Sorry about that. But that's the point. And that even goes to our local races. Coming up this morning, you're going to hear from a good friend of mine in North Carolina, Mark Starling. He is the morning host at WWNC 570 in North Carolina, in the Asheville area, somebody who I've known for over 20 plus years. And I wanted to reach out to him, and as a matter of fact, reach out to others across the country in swing states. We'll be doing that in the next few weeks to talk to them, to get a gauge as to what is happening in their part of the country and with their state, and whether they think there's going to be an issue when it comes to the president and re-election in the state. How is the battle going in these battleground states? And so we're going to talk about that in about a half an hour from now. But one of the things you'll hear from him that is very interesting is that when he first moved to North Carolina and he first moved to Asheville from Tampa, he lived in Tampa for a while, that he had a conversation with the sheriff there. And the sheriff was running as a Democrat and made the comment to him that he had to run as a Democrat. Because in Asheville, a place that is so liberal, you can't even believe it. And he'll explain. It's one of those oddities where you have a state that a city that's surrounded by red, but is hardcore liberal, like places like Raleigh, Durham, and he'll explain. But that he had to run as a Democrat because it's the only way he could get elected, even though he was not agreeing with the party. He couldn't run as a Republican. And I am concerned in our area here in Southwest Florida, it's the same thing. I just want to bring this up and touch on this briefly. We've got a lot of important races that we're going to have to decide in the next few days, next week, the primary. And two things come to mind. Number one, in the congressional race, it is not the time right now to vote for somebody, in my opinion, that just came along, that decided that they have millions and millions of dollars and want to buy a seat, because we already went through that. If you think you're going to find the next diamond in the rough, the next Donald Trump, they're there. The millionaires and billionaires that created and did. Okay, that's a fantastic story. You have a great story. But I don't know you. I don't know anything about you, and I'm pretty confident that you would have a hard time identifying where the corner of Airport and Pine Ridge was on a map. And I need to have confidence in knowing that the person that is going to win the office this time around in our congressional race is going to be somebody who's been vetted, who has served the community, and quite honestly, has served the state. And there's only 2 people that fit that mold. The rest of them, look, you will have time. If you want to stop, as a matter of fact, if you lose the election, you want to run for a local office, that's great. Show us your dedication to the community. And the other thing is, when it comes to school board races and races that are nonpartisan, be careful of the people you think are Republicans who are not, who will tell you that they are, but by every account, the people that they hang out with, the things that they post on social media will show you that they are in no way, shape, or form Republicans. But they know that in this town, the only way that they, as Democrats and liberal thinkers, are going to get into office is by convincing you that they are something that they are not. And that would be a Republican or a conservative. They may not even say that they're conservative, but Republican, yeah. Oh, yeah, I am. You bet. Hey, I'm a registered Republican. All right. What are your values? Oh, it's a nonpartisan race. We can't talk about that. That's why when it comes to school board and stuff, it's just, for me, with the exception of maybe one person, I think we need new, fresh faces. I'll get to that more coming up. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. All along. Let's find out what's happening with traffic right now. To the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Alligator Alley is shut down again at mile marker 96, heading over to the East Coast. So this is between the toll plaza and mile marker 80, which is State Road 29. You can hop back onto the interstate at State Road 29, or just take the East Trail as well. Also, slowdowns in Lehigh Acres on 82 heading west to Gunnery Road. No surprise there. And southbound delays on Gunnery heading towards Lee Boulevard. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Mixture of sunshine and clouds, quiet morning, but as we hit this afternoon and this evening, keep your eyes to the sky. Scattered showers and storms on a hot and humid day. 93 degrees with our heat index over 100. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Rush Limbaugh. According to the Los Angeles Times editorial board, all the evidence points to one conclusion. It is too late, folks. We humans dragged our feet for too long. Global warming is here, and it's impossible to undo. We're doomed. As a result, we're going to face more extreme heat, longer droughts, more ferocious hurricanes, and other horrible climate events that will threaten the global food supply. And more migrants, as people are forced to leave their scorched earth homes in order to survive in our scorched earth homes. Now, to cope with all of this horror, we humans, well, we're going to have to change our ways. Governments around the world must get rid of fossil fuel. We must turn to renewable energy. We must sign on to more global warming money grabs, blah, 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 the usual dribble. But that's not all. The LA Times says that change is needed on an individual level, and that's where you come in. You must do the right thing. You need to cut way back on your meat consumption. You have to drive less. You have to use more public transit. You have to use less air conditioning. You have to pay more for the products and services you've taken for granted for all these years, because you are to blame. Look, we're done. We're doomed. But if you sacrifice, maybe we can be a little less doomed, even if it does cost more. Does anybody want any part of this nonsense? Athletes nationwide talking about the relief they're getting from Level Select CBD sports creams and roll-ons from Cadenwood, the leader in CBD. Baseball legend Steve Garvey, with a National League record 1,207 consecutive games, uses Level Select CBD daily. He swears by it. Countless other athletes, including former quarterback Carson Palmer, PGA champion Ricky Fowler, find Level Select CBD helps keep them in the game. It works for them. It can work for you, too. Level Select CBD has a full line of products to choose from, all independently tested, made in the USA with 0% THC. Go to levelselectcbd.com, use the promo code CBD30 for 30% off any of their CBD products. That's levelselectcbd.com and the promo code CBD30.
Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota.
I have the greatest economy in the history of this country.
The 2020 election plays out here.
And nobody talks about it.
92.5 Fox News.
Hi, Matt Caldwell here, and we've reached the silly season in politics. It's amazing President Trump ever won any election, considering so many ads tell us that everyone is a never-Trumper. True never-Trumpers left the Republican Party years ago. Fact is, it's the candidates with nothing to offer that are still beating this dead horse. I'm Matt Caldwell, and I'm proud of my record. I wasn't afraid to stand against socialist Charlie Crist when he tried to drag our state to the left. I've stood against wasteful tax increases and bucked leadership to defend the Second Amendment. I've championed term limits and never bowed to environmental radicals. There's no doubt that I've made some mistakes along the way. Who hasn't? But I've been willing to lead the fight, and I'm not stopping now. I'm Matt Caldwell. When you mark your ballot this August, make sure you vote for the candidates that have actually delivered for this community. That's who President Trump and our republic need most of all. Paid by Matt Caldwell, Republican for State Committee.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Summer is in full swing, and my friends Jason and Todd with the Diamond District are continuing to liquidate the largest selection of GIA and Forever Mark loose certified diamonds, engagement rings, and fashionable diamond jewelry.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and yes, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting. I love these guys. I love the company. I can tell you personally, I've used them multiple times over 7 or 8 years. A company that's been in Southwest Florida since 2001. The great staff, the way they communicate, every idea that my wife had that she wanted to do with regard to painting and contracting, boom, just like that, they were on it. So what can they handle? How about anything to do with restoration or repair? Coatings, like the coating in my garage is amazing. They do over 700 clients annually. You don't have to take my word for it. They're one of the highest reviewed contractors for what they do, maintaining 4.9 to 5 stars, and I can see why. So you're thinking about a repaint, you're thinking about your garage floor, you're thinking about some remodeling. I'm telling you, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting. So give them a call today, 239-872-2559. That's 239-872-2559. See the experience that I have had with Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting, and you will say it as well. They are the best.
Across the country, police departments are being defunded, criminals are being released en masse, and violent crime is on the rise. But here in Lee County, that's not how we roll. Sheriff Carmine Marcino is on the job, and he knows what to do with violent criminals. Arrest them, prosecute them, put them behind bars.
I'm Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino. Protecting Lee County is my top priority. Utilizing technology to implement sophisticated strategies to catch criminals. Consistently working to improve our response times. Putting more deputies on the street to keep career criminals off them.
It's hard work, but Sheriff Carmine Marcino understands that keeping our neighborhoods, schools, and businesses safe is worth it. That's why Lee County has one of the lowest crime rates in Florida.
I'm Sheriff Carmine Marcino, and I serve to protect you.
Paid electioneering communication paid for by the conservative champion leaders. 133 Harbor Drive, South Venice, Florida, 34285.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. The Big Ten and Pac-12 conferences announced they will not play football this fall because of the pandemic. The Big Ten says it's postponing all fall sports and hopes to make them up in the second semester. This includes Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. Florida State University's president said the Seminoles will play football in the fall. Governor Ron DeSantis says there should be football this fall, and he proposed all NCAA football games be played in Florida. Charlotte County Schools is now working on a communication plan for when students return back to school. If someone is exposed to COVID-19, they will be notified and directed to take preventative measures to contain it. Now, if there's an upward trend of cases or transmission, the Department of Health suggests kids learn from online and then head back to the classroom later on. A mooring field in Cape Coral's Bimini Basin has been in the works for years, and now the city says it's getting ready for phase 2 of the project. Last night, Cape Coral showcased 2 potential designs, one with room for 18 boats and another for 15 boats of different sizes. Florida has chosen to participate in a COVID-19 vaccine pilot program. The state surgeon general says we're now part of the CDC vaccine pilot group. We're one of 4 states chosen to take part in this. You'll have the opportunity to get more free walk-up testing at Three Oaks Park in Lee County. They're testing from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday for the rest of August. Now, this Thursday's site will be at Buckingham Community Park. We have a list of all the other sites on the Wink News app. St. Matthew's House says they fed 828 families yesterday at their Golden Gate High School food pantry. Today they have another distribution scheduled at the high school from 9 until noon. They expect to feed hundreds of people there as well. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Alligator Alley is shut down again at mile marker 96, heading over to the East Coast. So this is between the toll plaza and mile marker 80, which is State Road 29. You can hop back onto the interstate at State Road 29, or just take the East Trail as well. Also, slowdowns in Lehigh Acres on 82 heading west to Gunnery Road. No surprise there. And southbound delays on Gunnery heading towards Lee Boulevard. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For this morning, looking good. Mixture of sunshine and clouds. And then by this afternoon and this evening, another summertime round of scattered showers and storms. Hot and humid day of weather. Temps in the 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. And Mother Nature's on repeat. We keep this pattern going for the rest of the work week all the way towards the weekend with those highs in the 90s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right, all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Get a 2019 Buick Encore SUV with only 584 miles for $20,000. Practically a new car for thousands less. Or a 2004 Buick Park Avenue with only 56,000 miles. Florida condo car for $6,500. With over 300 vehicles, visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Today, Byron Donalds claims he's for law and order. Yesterday, he wanted weaker sentences for felons.
We're going to provide some additional time off of sentences.
Yesterday, Byron Donalds, arrested for drugs and theft himself, wanted compassion for drug dealers.
Giving discretion to judges in some drug offenses.
Today, Byron claims he's for President Trump and a safe election. Yesterday,
we do want convicted felons to get their rights to vote.
Who will Byron Donalds be tomorrow? Paid for by Honesty America, not endorsed by any candidate or any candidates committee.
County Commissioner Ray Sandelli's business experience and military background earned him Governor Ron DeSantis' appointment to the Lee County Commission. And Ray Sandelli is committed to working together with Governor DeSantis to rebuild our economy. He's fighting to protect our jobs and keep our businesses open. As a principled conservative, he knows our path to recovery lies with lower taxes and less regulations. County Commissioner Ray Sandelli brings 40 years of conservative business experience to Lee County. He knows what it takes to create jobs, grow economies, and isn't afraid to make the tough decisions. That's why Governor Ron DeSantis appointed him to the Lee County Commission, and Ray hasn't let him down. A naval officer and aviator, Ray Sandelli spent 8 years in the United States Navy and was a member of the prestigious Blue Angels flight demonstration team. He proudly served our nation and proudly stands for our flag. We can count on him to support our law enforcement. Ray Sandelli is a veteran, businessman, and conservative fighting for us on the County Commission. Paid electioneering communication paid for by SWFL Jobs Alliance. 1375 Jackson Street, Fort Myers, Florida, 33901.
Dell supports America's entrepreneurs during Small Business Month with all you need to office anywhere. Save up to 45% on computers and servers with Intel Core processors. Upgrade to new modern devices with Windows 10. Plus save on top brand tech while enjoying free shipping on everything. And special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call 877-ASK-DELL to talk to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the tech that's just right. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
Is America in a new Cold War with China, stealing our technology, spying on us? Now President Trump is fighting back. Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, watch Sean Spicer's Spicer & Company as he finds out the shocking answers about China. See Spicer & Company on Newsmax TV, America's fastest-growing cable news channel. Find Newsmax on DirecTV, Dish, Xfinity, Optimum, Fios, Uverse, Cox, Spectrum, WOW, Armstrong, or check your cable guide. And get Newsmax's free app on your smartphone and start watching today.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube. Anytime you'd like to watch, at Drew Steele Radio, just type in the search bar, Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps to keep us going. We appreciate that. And we are so pleased to be joined this morning by the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development Secretary, Dr. Ben Carson, joining us right now. It's Drew Steele. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. Good to be with you.
Oh, well, we appreciate a few minutes of your time today. We know that you're traveling certainly around talking about opportunity zones, even here in Southwest Florida. Can you talk a little bit about what is happening with opportunity zones? I know this has been brought up in the past, and we've talked about it on this program, but I'd like to hear more about what they are in detail so people understand what are opportunity zones.
Well, first of all, let me just say people should go to HUD.gov or they can go to opportunityzone.gov, and there's a tremendous amount of information there, including all the best practices. But a lot of money, over $75 billion, has already been invested in opportunity zones throughout the country, where people are taking, unrealized capital gains, investing them over the long term. That's the real difference between opportunity zones and some of the other programs that have existed in the past, where people sort of come in, make their money, grab it, and go away. With the opportunity zones, you have to leave your money invested for a significant period of time. 5 years, you get a 10% decrement in the amount of capital gains you owe on the original investment. 7 years, it's 15%. 10 years, you don't have to pay any capital gains on the new money that was realized. So that means you're not going to sort of come back in 5 or 7 or 10 years and see what's going on. You're going to stay in very much invested because you want a good return on your investment and you want to see that area grow, and that's exactly what we're seeing. For instance, in St. Louis, an old foundry served as the nidus for the opportunity zone there. And it's been revamped, workforce housing being built, entertainment, to grocery stores. All of these things begin to develop around the area because these areas have been neglected, and there's no reason for anybody to want to invest in them until this program came along and incentivized them.
And I know you'll be here in Southwest Florida, and some of the opportunity zones that we have here. I think what is it like? Go ahead.
We're going to have 3 stops there.
Okay.
The Southward Village, the East Point Place, and driving through the Hope 6 site that's going up.
Okay, right. That is happening today as he'll be here in Fort Myers visiting Southward Village, East Point Place, and Hope 6 community. And even in the state of Florida, as we look at some of the opportunity zones across the state and the opportunities that individuals have been given, I look at some of the numbers and I hear you talk about this, and I know we've mentioned this before. Opportunity is the key here. And I think this is something that's so tangible and so important that my concern is that we would be able to keep something like this going. And, I don't want to talk about politics, but I do want to say that this is an important issue and something that is important to continue. And I would like to see that there is this kind of innovation and awareness. And I worry that a change in politically would stop something like this from happening and all the good that it is doing. And I love the investment, talking about capital, talking about what is the marketplace, right? The fundamentals of the market.
And it's so important, for people to actually look at what's being done as opposed to what's being said. And, traditional politicians, they promise you the world and they do nothing. And then they promise it again 4 years later. And obviously that's not what's going on right now. And I hope people are able to see that because, we have to make sure that this is a land of opportunity for everybody. And we have to make sure that the American dream is available for everybody. And that's why, this administration has really clung to the adage, a rising tide lifts all boats. And do the things fundamentally that strengthen the economy so that everybody benefits, and that's what opportunity zones are all about. We would hope over the course of time to even expand them. And some of the other programs, it's all about self-sufficiency. It's not about creating situations where people become dependent, because that's unsustainable in the long run.
Yeah. Dr. Ben Carson joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, Department of Housing and Urban Development Secretary. He'll be in Southwest Florida. He'll be in Fort Myers today, visiting Southward Village, East Point Place, Hope 6 community. Lee County has 15 opportunity zones, as a matter of fact, and 3 of those are in the city of Fort Myers, and he will be here. The thing that always fascinates me about this is, when we talk about how individuals can be successful in this country and the examples that we have of how that works, we are reminded time and time again of the successes of the free market, of capitalism. We're reminded of how if you give people opportunity and open it to them, it works. It always works. And yet there are individuals in this country there that still want to have the same old. And even that in and of itself should be recognized, that if you're looking at what you're doing and what the president is doing when it comes to opportunity zones and giving people these opportunities that they may not otherwise be able to have, to recognize what abilities God-given that they have to succeed in a country that allows them to do that. How frustrating is it to have to be in D.C., Dr. Carson, and know that there are others that look at that quite the opposite way?
It's amazingly frustrating. I've been trying, for 3 years just to undo some of this stuff.
Right.
For instance, people who are getting housing subsidies, if they make more money or they bring somebody into the household who's making money, they have to report that immediately so their rent goes up. That's not a great incentive to improve yourself. There are all these kinds of things, and you're fighting constantly with people who claim to be for the little man, but they're doing everything they can to make sure that he stays the little man. And it's very irritating.
Yeah.
And, and they frequently have the bully pulpit, so only their side of the story gets told. But we're going to keep fighting because, as I always say to everybody in all the different offices, just do what's right.
Yeah.
Just do what's right.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know you've been to many. When you visit communities, like you'll be here today at Southwood Village and East Point Place and Hope 6 community, these opportunity zones, what has the reaction been like in the communities when you talk to the people there?
Actually, the reaction has been very good. And you frequently won't hear too much on the news about things that are good.
Nice. Yeah. Really? I didn't recognize that. That sounds so foreign to me.
It's kind of funny. But when you actually get a chance to go out and talk to the people and show them what's available and how to utilize it, and, I'm always amazed people come up and say, gee, it's wonderful to have an opportunity. You're a much nicer person than they make you out to be.
Oh no! But it's so true, and it's funny, but it's sad because there's a lot of hard work that's going on behind the scenes. Certainly, you and the president and what you would like to see happen in this country, and how success happens. And to
Right.
not to hold people to say that this is your box, this is your place, this is as far as you can go. No. It's not like that at all. And that there are people that are working behind the scenes that understand
And
that.
people just need to think. They need to think big. and realize that the person who has the most to do with what happens to you is you.
Yeah.
But you have to learn how to recognize opportunities. And we have an obligation to point out opportunities and make those ladders available for people to climb.
Yeah. Well, the Secretary Ben Carson will be here in town in Fort Myers, Southwood Village, East Point Place, and Hope Six community, visiting these opportunity zones, and they are transformational, and you can see it for yourself and find out more. And you can go to opportunityzones.org. Is that right? Is that the website?
Yes.
Okay.
Opportunities.gov.
.gov, excuse me. Okay, fantastic. Opportunityzones.gov. So make sure you visit the website. Secretary Carson, listen, I know you're busy. I appreciate a few minutes. I'm so glad we had a chance to speak once again. And hopefully we'll catch up soon. All the best. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Been a pleasure. Take care.
All right, we'll see you. 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube right now at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Let's take a break, Jake, and when we come back, we'll talk more about Kamala Harris and the choice to be the vice presidential pick on the Democrat side, the de facto presidential pick, maybe, and why would you be concerned about that? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and we'll lay it out. All right, let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash in Lehigh Acres at Gunnery Road and Sunset Road with minor delays on Gunnery. Also on Alligator Alley, if you're heading over to the East Coast at mile marker 96, 2 lanes blocked. Only the middle lane is allowed through right now. If you are heading over, especially between the toll plaza towards mile marker 80, which is State Road 29, give yourself a few extra minutes. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Mixture of sunshine and clouds, quiet morning, but as we hit this afternoon and this evening, keep your eyes to the sky. Scattered showers and storms on a hot and humid day. 93 degrees with our heat index over 100. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News. News and smart views.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. I believe the most powerful economic engine on earth is America's free market economy. I will oppose any attempt to shut down Florida's economy because every job is essential. And free market capitalism, that's the only economic stimulus package we'll ever need. We need to open our businesses, our beaches, and our schools immediately because America works best when America's working. I'm Spencer Roach, and I'm proud to be a retired military officer. I'll stand shoulder to shoulder with law enforcement to fight against the radical anarchist and socialist mobs that seek to overthrow our government, loot our businesses, tear down our monuments, and burn down police stations. I'm Spencer Roach, and I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to stand for the flag, and I'm proud to stand up for conservative values. And I will not back down. Primary election day is August 18th, and I hope you'll join me in standing up for America, because freedom is worth fighting for. Paid for by Spencer Roach, Republican for Florida House, District 79.
Cataract surgery is not so basic anymore because technology has paved the way so that patients can design their vision to meet their individual lifestyle needs. Dr. Jonathan Franz and his team of caring professionals at Franz Eye Care are bringing you state-of-the-art technology through the light adjustable lens. So what's the wow factor, you ask? Your prescription adjustments can be customized after cataract surgery through a series of non-invasive light treatments. The light adjustable lens is made of a special photosensitive material that changes the power of an implanted lens in response to UV light. Imagine that, a lens designed for the unique individual nature of your eyes. It's lights on after cataract surgery with the light adjustable lens. Call Franz Eye Care today to find out if you qualify and see your future in 2020. Dial ** 2020 from your cell phone or call 239-418-0999. That's 239-418-0999.
Dial ** 2020. Franz Eye Care.
Hi, this is Matt Caldwell. I spent 8 years in the Florida House fighting for our conservative values. We cut billions in taxes, balanced our budget every year, removed government barriers to job growth, and made huge strides in fixing our water quality. Now I'm looking to use that experience as your next Lee County property appraiser. I've spent the past 20 years working as a professional property appraiser in both the residential and commercial markets. It's something I know well, and I'm the only candidate with this experience in the industry. I'm Matt Caldwell, And through the years, I've proven myself as a trusted, principled conservative. More than ever, it is crucial that we have strong conservatives with a proven record, someone in office that you know will not back down and will always defend our values. I have served you before, and I'm ready to do it again. I'm Matt Caldwell. I'm running for Lee County Property Appraiser, and I'm asking for your vote. Paid by Matt Caldwell, Republican for Lee County Property Appraiser.
I'm Harvey Massey. At Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn, as well as an irrigation program which ensures proper coverage and reduces water waste. With Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
I'm Dr. William Figelstaller, and this election cycle, you have choices. As you sit down to cast your vote, I hope you'll consider this. While all my career politician opponents are hiding behind their Washington super PACs, attacking each other and me, I've been focused on one thing, fighting for you and the conservative values we hold dear. Because tearing each other down is no way to build our country up. I'm Dr. William Figelstaller. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote on August 18th.
Paid for by William Figelstaller, Republican, House District 19.
1 hour air conditioning and heating, always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1HOUR.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Stay break 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592 is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line as we stream live on YouTube right now. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. We do appreciate that so much. Also, want to remind you that I'd love to hear from you right now. Maybe you have a thought, a comment on the pick of Kamala Harris as the soon-to-be de facto president of the United States on the Democrat side if Joe Biden were to win. I don't know where the benefits are with Kamala Harris on the ticket for the policies and the politics. There are so many people that are questioning it. Even on the left, there are people that have been questioning the pick. I'm not kidding. And I've got to find this clip of audio that I will play coming up this morning. Yes, even some on MSNBC were saying, yeah, I don't know if this was a great pick or not. This is going to be kind of a tough deal. But, well, let's just ask this. What is the messaging out there on the Democrat side? Kamala Harris is a moderate. She's a moderate, just like Joe Biden's a moderate. I'm not kidding. Did you hear this montage from Newsbusters about how the media trying to label Biden as the moderate? It's funny.
Joe Biden's not known as a liberal per se. He's more from the centrist part of the party.
His ideology that he's too centrist.
A Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo. You're right if you have an assault weapon.
Biden's looking to knock out other centrist alternatives. Biden, more centrist.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
There you go. Raising the hand.
This Biden centrist moderate, maybe I can reach out to people who were Republican or lean Republican.
They're probably anywhere from 10 to 15% of the people out there that are just not very good people.
Do you think someone like Joe Biden is too moderate?
Too centrist.
Too moderate.
Should undocumented immigrants arrested by local police be turned over to immigration officials?
No.
The national frontrunner Joe Biden, a moderate.
Biden's more moderate stance.
We both agree that we have a new Green Deal to deal with the existential threat that faces humanity. We are going to get rid of fossil fuels. No more coal plants. No one's going to build another coal plant in America because of the work we did. Anybody who can throw coal into a furnace can learn how to program, for God's sake.
Biden, a moderate.
Moderate Joe Biden.
The moderate Biden.
Moderate Biden. This idea that I'm not the progressive in the race. I mean, my Lord, if I get elected president of the United States, this will go down as one of the most progressive administrations in American history.
Look, you. It's his. He said it. It's not my words. It's his words, and you have to decide.
We choose truth over facts.
You tell me. Does Joe Biden sound like a moderate? All right. So why are we talking about Joe Biden? Shouldn't we be talking about Kamala Harris? I mean, she's going to be the de facto president of the United States once he wins, if he wins. So what about her thinking, her policies? Hey, a Green New Deal?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is new darling of the party. She officially has more Twitter followers than Nancy Pelosi. She was on 60 Minutes this weekend, proudly calling herself a radical. And she's promoting policies like saying that every single carbon emission in the country, every car, should be eliminated within the next 11 years.
Moderate.
Everything from a 70 to 80% tax rate.
Moderate.
Do you agree that she could possibly, in this ideology of the socialist left, could splinter your party?
No. I think that she is challenging the status quo. I think that's fantastic.
Challenging the status quo. Thinks it's fantastic, everybody. This is fantastic.
That, I used to teach before, especially before, in the last few years. And the thing that I always loved about teaching was when you teach, it requires you to defend the premise.
So, defend the premise. 70% tax increase sounds great. $93 trillion in a Green New Deal. Defend all of that. And then AOC's ideology, which is socialist, progressive, hard left. She defends it. She's cool with it. That's part of the trouble, everybody.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Looks like Planned Parenthood's favorite politician, Heather Fitzenhagen, has some explaining of her own to do. While in the legislature, why did Heather Fitzenhagen fail to pay her property taxes 4 times in 5 years?
Lucy?
Why did the Florida Elections Commission find probable cause that Fitzenhagen was untruthful on her financial disclosure form? Why have Fitzenhagen's campaigns racked up over 50 violations and more than $3,000 in fines?
You got some explaining to do.
Why did Fitzenhagen's special interest funded PAC pay for her hotel room in Toronto, Canada? Why was Fitzenhagen's stay at the Ritz-Carlton Resort in Aruba paid for by her campaign? Why did Heather Fitzenhagen lose the lawsuit filed by her Tallahassee landlord for wrecking her apartment and not paying her rent? There's got to be an explanation for all of this.
We are waiting.
Paid by Ray Rodriguez for Florida Senate.
For the past 58 years, Conditioned Air is focused on your comfort. Today more than ever, our business community, our nonprofits, our leaders, and our citizens are relying on each other for strength. It's not a me thing, a you thing, it's a we time in our lives. Conditioned Air is here for you and here for our community. Whether you're looking for routine air conditioning, service and repair for your home, installation of a new air conditioning system in a large commercial property, or anything in between, our Conditioned Air team is eager to help. You can count on the people of Conditioned Air. We are your neighbors, parents of school children, volunteers in the communities, coworkers, consumers, and supporters of all types of businesses. We want to help you when and where you need us, at your business or in your home. Your comfort is essential. Invest wisely. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962, serving all of Southwest Florida. Call 1-888-COLD-AIR or log on to conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Lee County Commissioner Ray Sandelli has the business experience and conservative principles we need on our county commission. And Governor Ron DeSantis agrees. When Governor DeSantis appointed Ray Sandelli to the county commission, he said Ray's great business and military background will be of benefit to the community. And he has not let us down. Ray Sandelli is committed to continue working with Governor DeSantis to fight for clean water, to rebuild our economy, and to bring new jobs to Lee County. A Navy veteran, Ray Sandelli was an officer, aviator, and member of the prestigious Blue Angel flight demonstration team. And as a businessman, his career spanned for more than 40 years from coast to coast. Ray Sandelli knows what it takes to create jobs and grow an economy. He stands for lower taxes that puts more money in your pocket and less regulations to get government out of the way of job creators. Voting by mail has begun. Send in your ballot today with a vote for Ray Sandelli for Lee County Commission District 3.
Paid by Ray Sandelli, Republican, for Lee County Commission District 3.
Fox News, I'm Pam Huso. She's never been more ready to get to work. Senator Kamala Harris saying that on Facebook after being selected as Joe Biden's running mate.
Biden making the announcement on Twitter and in an email to supporters, writing, "I've decided that Kamala Harris is the best person to help me take this fight to Donald Trump and Mike Pence and then to lead this nation starting in January 2021.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. Later, Biden and Harris will make their first appearance as the Democratic presidential ticket. China lashing out after a U.S. official criticizes Beijing for its handling of the coronavirus.
China condemning Alex Azar's visit to Taiwan as a political show, saying the Health and Human Services Secretary has proved that for U.S. politicians, American lives mean nothing compared with their selfish political gains.
Fox's Simon Owen. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stadium Dry Cleaners. Online at stadiumdrycleaners.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. The Big Ten and Pac-12 conferences announced they will not play football this fall because of the pandemic. The Big Ten says it's postponing all fall sports and hopes to make them up in the second semester. This includes Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. Florida State University's president said the Seminoles will play football in the fall. Governor Ron DeSantis says there should be football this fall, and he proposed all NCAA football games be played in Florida. Charlotte County Schools is now working on a communication plan for when students return back to school. If someone is exposed to COVID-19, they will be notified and directed to take preventative measures to contain it. Now, if there's an upward trend of cases or transmission, the Department of Health suggests kids learn from online and then head back to the classroom later on. A mooring field in Cape Coral's Bimini Basin has been in the works for years, and now the city says it's getting ready for phase 2 of the project. Last night, Cape Coral showcased 2 potential designs, one with room for 18 boats and another for 15 boats of different sizes. Florida has chosen to participate in a COVID-19 vaccine pilot program. The state surgeon general says we're now part of the CDC vaccine pilot group. We're one of 4 states chosen to take part in this. You'll have the opportunity to get more free walk-up testing at Three Oaks Park in Lee County. They're testing from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday for the rest of August. Now, this Thursday's site will be at Buckingham Community Park. We have a list of all the other sites on the Wink News app. St. Matthew's House says they fed 828 families yesterday at their Golden Gate High School food pantry. Today they have another distribution scheduled at the high school from 9 until noon. They expect to feed hundreds of people there as well. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
A crash in Lehigh Acres at Gunnery Road and Sunset Road with minor delays on Gunnery. Also on Alligator Alley, if you're heading over to the East Coast, at mile marker 96, 2 lanes blocked. Only the middle lane is allowed through right now. If you are heading over, especially between the toll plaza towards mile marker 80, which is State Road 29, give yourself a few extra minutes. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For this morning, looking good, mixture of sunshine and clouds, and then by this afternoon and this evening, another summertime round of scattered showers and storms. Hot and humid day of weather, temps in the 90s, feels like temperatures in the triple digits, and Mother Nature's on repeat. We keep this pattern going for the rest of the work week all the way towards the weekend with those highs in the 90s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Whoa, nice strike, Floyd.
Hey, Earl, remember Bill Nelson?
Liberal Democrat in office for ages? Astronaut or something?
Yeah, more like space tourist. They put him on a shuttle once, strapped him in a seat, and he bragged about it forever.
Yep, that Bill Nelson. Rick Scott beat him. So,
why did William Figglestaller write Bill Nelson a fat campaign contribution check?
Dr. Fig funded that fella?
Stop.
You gotta laugh. Figglestaller claiming to be a conservative after he backs a liberal like Bill Nelson.
The same as Casey Ascar.
Ascar, the Romney Republican. He can't say why he sent thousands to Romney for president, but not one dime to Trump against Hillary.
Yeah, money talks, and it says you can't trust Figglestaller or Ascar to stand with Trump in Congress.
Paid for by Club for Growth Action. ClubForGrowthAction.org and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you're far from water, you might think a flood can't happen to you. But the truth is, there are hidden risks that can leave your property vulnerable, like runoff from new development, changing weather patterns, and even wildfires. But if you have flood insurance, you have peace of mind knowing that you can recover faster. Protect the life you've built. Visit floodsmart.gov/storm to learn more. Brought to you by FEMA and its National Flood Insurance Program.
Hey, check this out, Southwest Florida. You know that sweet trade-in deal we've been doing here at Naples Nissan? Well, it just got sweeter. If your trade-in is less than 8 years old with less than 80,000 miles on it, guess what? Naples Nissan is going to give you the original base MSRP for it. Wait, what? Yeah, so whatever that Hyundai, Kia, Toyota, Nissan, or Honda was worth 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago is exactly what it'll be worth now, but only at Naples Nissan. Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, Chevy, yep, we'll take those too. Let's see here, a brand new Nissan or that old 2012 you're driving now that needs new tires. Bluetooth, no Bluetooth. Backup camera, no backup camera. Come on, it's a no-brainer, folks. Visit NaplesNissan.com for full details or come see us on Pine Ridge Road and drive home in that brand new Nissan today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Today, Byron Donalds claims he's for law and order. Yesterday, he wanted weaker sentences for felons.
We're going to provide some additional time off of sentences.
Yesterday, Byron Donalds, arrested for drugs and theft himself, wanted compassion for drug dealers.
Giving discretion to judges in some drug offenses.
Today, Byron claims he's for President Trump and a safe election. Yesterday,
we do want convicted felons to get their rights to vote.
Who will Byron Donalds be tomorrow? Paid for by Honesty America, not endorsed by any candidate or any candidates committee.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. It's Drew Steele, 239-479-5592. The Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line streaming live on the YouTubes, as the kids don't say. I just realized that. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. And please subscribe to the channel when you're there. We do appreciate it. It helps to keep us going. You know, I was talking to some friends here locally, and one of the things we were talking about, and even when we had the conversation with Eric Trump just the other day, was about swing states. We were talking about the fact that Florida, obviously a swing state, the focus on Florida in a national election, everyone knows about this. But what about other swing states? What's happening in places like North Carolina? And that's why I am talking right now with my good friend Mark Starling. It's been way too long that we've done anything radio-wise, but it certainly is something we've talked about off the air, and I'm so happy to have him. He works at News Radio 570 WNC, that is in North Carolina, and he's got a fantastic program in the morning, First News 570 with Mark Starling, and he's joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I love that we're doing this, my friend. How are you?
Doing well, man, doing well. It has been Drew, I was thinking about it. This might only be the second time we've ever been on the air together at the same time.
I can't, I don't think
we've done.
True.
I don't think we've done this before.
Even though we've done so much in radio together, and we've talked about it. Yeah, you were exactly right. I guess we just talk too much off the air about politics and life.
I think there's actually some sort of consortium being put together to keep you and I out of the same studios. Right? Probably better and safe for everybody, right?
That's a whole other story for another day.
Yeah,
but anyway, that is so true. So I thought, listen, I want to hear from individuals, from my friends in swing states, and so I wanted to have Mark on the air to talk about this. So where are you exactly in the state?
So we are in Asheville. And for folks who are not familiar with Asheville, we are in the very far western portion of the state. Asheville is very, very different than the rest of North Carolina. It is a liberal bastion here. So if you want to think about taking San Francisco, condensing it down to about 100,000 people, and then sticking it right into the middle of the mountains where there is nothing surrounding it. That's exactly what you're dealing with right now.
Wow.
There are about 88,000 people here, and about, probably 78,000 are registered Democrats in the city. Now, the county, as soon as you get out into the county, you're dealing with a much more conservative crowd, or a much more independent crowd, if you will. So, it's very, Asheville itself is very, very liberal.
Yeah, that's interesting only because it's something that I talk about on the air when I spent a year in Salt Lake City, 2016 to 2017. A lot of people think of Utah as a big red state. No worries there, but they don't realize that Salt Lake City, this massive city,